Hi there and welcome to Heard Seen Read. Each month, we share a summary of our personal experiences with the media we consume, including recommendations for books, movies, and TV shows. We share our thoughts on recent cultural events, such as concerts, art exhibitions, and theatrical performances. In our February 2025 meeting, Angie shares her highlights, including a performance by John C. Reilly in Mr. Valentine, and a show at 2220 Arts featuring Pauline Lay, Dominique Medelson, and others. She discusses several books she enjoys, such as Lucy Sante's memoir about transitioning later in life, and Clarice Lispector's Breath of Life. Angie also mentions disliking the movie We Live in Time and finding the Lylan Lozano Dropout piece interesting. We discuss a benefit show with a ukulele performer that was poorly received and a performance by Julius Smack. We also mention attending art events like the Felix Art Fair and a bus tour with poetry readings. The conversation then shifts to a Korean restaurant recommendation and our opinions on the current season of White Lotus. Carrie expresses enthusiasm for the show, particularly praising Natasha Rothwell's performance as Belinda, while others are less impressed but continue watching. Carrie, George, and Sam discuss White Lotus, Paddington in Peru, and La Chimera. Carrie mentions watching White Lotus and La Chimera, while George and Sam discuss the young Schwarzenegger son. We also touch on the movies A Complete Unknown and I'm Not There. The group also briefly discusses the movie Paddington 2 and the TV show Apple Cider Vinegar. Carrie mentions enjoying the show Common Side Effects on HBO Max, praising its animation style and collaboration between Mike Judge and Joe Bennett. They also talk about a play version of Carrie and a dance performance by Phaedra Schooler. The conversation touches on Joe Pera's comedy special, with mixed opinions on its content. George shares his experience attending a friend's play called Soulmate at a small theater in North Hollywood, describing it as a unique but somewhat perplexing musical about a ghost. The group also briefly discusses various TV shows and movies, including Invincible and Sleep Dealer, with George noting that he often falls asleep during some of the content he watches. We discuss various true crime stories and documentaries, including the Gabby Petito case and a Black Mirror episode with a similar theme. We talk about attending a concert featuring Jerome's Dream, Orchid, and Bastard Noise, with mixed opinions on the performances. The conversation shifts to TV shows, with differing views on White Lotus and Severance. Lucy shares her thoughts on some shows she watched, and a theatrical production about Gwyneth Paltrow's skiing incident. Carrie mentions liking the movie Dinner in America, but strongly disliking the director's latest film, Snack Shack. Sam shares her experience with Universal Language, a film that caters to a very specific audience of rural Canadians familiar with Iranian cinema. She watched it with a friend who understood many references that were lost on others. They also talk about No Other Land, a Palestinian documentary that won an Oscar, and Touki Bouki, an influential African indie film from the 1970s. Carrie mentions reading Oval, a book set in Berlin, while Sam recommends Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro and discusses Black Deutschland, a novel about a Black American in 1990s Berlin. The group discusses a movie that was distributed through Oscilloscope Laboratories, a company founded by Adam Yauch. Carrie reveals she has a medical appointment early the next morning, which leads to a conversation about colonoscopies. The discussion then takes a humorous turn, with the group joking about colon cancer statistics and reimagining the Boy Who Cried Wolf story with a cancer-related twist. In the meeting, Angie discussed her recent discovery of a video featuring Salvador Dali with an anteater as a pet. She also mentioned an audiobook she was listening to about the art world in the 1930s and 1940s. The conversation then shifted to John Mulaney's comedy and a live show he performed. Carrie had to leave the meeting suddenly. Next steps include George sharing Dominique's music links, George sharing details about the bus tour experience, George sharing the link to the Russian dash cam movie, Road Movie, and Angie sharing art event updates for interested members.